Deep Dive with David Stendahl, where we trade without ego, no emotion, no greed, and no opinion. Before we begin tonight's video blog, please read over our trading disclaimer and remember to trade smart and accept the reality that trading futures is risky. This presentation does not provide buy-sell recommendations, and our information is strictly provided for educational purposes only. As always, trade at your own risk and analysis. Hey there, it's David Stendahl with tonight's Deep Dive. It is October 29, 2018, and tonight we're going to take a look at sugar. There's lots of markets we could be looking at, but I'm going to focus on sugar because it's in a topping formation and something that I think will actually bode well for some longer-term trends. So here's the ETF CANE, C-A-N-E. We've got the short, intermediate, and long-term trends all point to the upside, but as I often mention, the technical rating, when it goes sideways, that's usually a good indication that something is going to happen and you really want to take note within that particular market. We have the seasonal tendencies, which are pointed to the downside. And we don't have anything that's really pointing here to major pivot highs, anything of that nature. But if we look at some of the patterns, here in sugar, this is as of Friday, because today is Monday, so the last trading day was Friday, so 1 bar ago. We had a doubt high that triggered, we had a stretch high that triggered, and we had a pulse high that triggered. 2 reversals and profitability as far as profit taking, that type of an indicator actually triggered. So from that perspective, there are things that are looming out there. On a weekly bar, which longer term, we have a flow high that triggered so far this week. Today only being Monday, this can change, but as of right now, it has in fact triggered, and it gives you an indication that the market actually is quite toppy. So these are daily bars for sugar. This is today's action, which was pretty substantial, and here is the trading as of Friday. So you can see that the market was beginning to turn over here, and that's what a lot of those alerts actually triggered on. We recently, it's not showing up right now, but we recently had a wave high that triggered. So from that perspective, it's giving us an indication the market's going to come down to a couple of particular levels. We're at support right now, but it's kind of weak. This level is what we'd be looking at as far as major support, but we also would have the 200-day moving average, which is what this grayish line is. Those are the marker, the levels that we're going to be looking at. So we're looking at 1305, and this level right here is 1260 as far as some levels and targets that we could be looking at. Now if we come back to the website, I just want to show a couple things that are taking place here. First thing is that sugar, if you come to our top 10 list, is at the top of the list as far as its accuracy as to the way that the market has been reacting to normal seasonal tendencies. And if we actually look at those tendencies, you can see that it was forecasting some type of a major surge to the market. Here's the toppiness. And you can see that the market should, if it's going to follow at least the 5-year tendencies, should really start to turn over here. And you'd want to be more on the short side than the long side, at least until mid-December. So we'll see how things kind of play out on that side. But you can see that it's highly accurate when it looks at the 5 years, and it's also pretty accurate when it comes to the 10, the 15, and the 20 year. The other thing I'll point out is the CVAR, which is conditional variance. When we look at monthly bars and we look for what is considered to be a big move in sugar, here's sugar right here. A big monthly move would be about 16%. We're up 23.5%, and so that gives you an indication of just how strong a big move this has actually been. And if we actually look at on a percentage basis between coffee and sugar, I'll just pull this up a little bit further, these are both at an extreme. They're at 147% of their normal, and so 100% would be what that level was for that CVAR, and so it's 47% above as is coffee, and so we have both big moves in coffee and sugar, and then we've got the lunch sugar as well that has a big move, not as much as domestic, but the point being is that we are looking at major moves to the upside and it's probably looking as if the market, from a seasonal perspective, really wants to topple over here. So as of today, we actually liquidated two positions, two long positions, a 90-minute bar and a 60-minute bar system. We had a nice little profit that took place here of around 2,500 between these two particular systems. And if we take a look at sugar as a whole, where we stand at the present time, we're still long the market, but we're also looking at a couple of systems that will probably start to turn over. So we still have a nice little open position profit around 2,800 in both positions. We got a 240-minute long and a daily long. And if the market really does start to move to the downside, I'm sure that we're going to see these particular positions unwind themselves. So that's why I want you to actually keep tabs on what is taking place with sugar and see as to whether or not, from a seasonal perspective, we can actually get the market to start to turn over here. And as always, what you want to do is look for support and resistance. So those two levels that I just gave to you would be the most logical things to look for next. And then if, and this is a big if, the market really is able to really have a major sell-off here, we could be looking at a retest of this support level. That's really getting ahead of ourselves. So look for the 200-day moving average as well as this resistance, and actually it's a support level right now at 1260. That's what you're going to be looking for when it comes to sugar. And so we've had some nice profits have been made, and we're going to be looking for an opportunity to unwind some more of those positions here fairly soon. So watch your sugar positions as closely as you can, and we will take a look at another market tomorrow. Thanks again. Bye-bye.